Turn back to where you came, stranger, unless you want to vanish like the rest. Many of my friends have gone missing near these ruins. Ruliel still holds out hope that they will return, but I am leaving this place before I share their fate. He and a few of the others have staked out a camp up on the ridge. He is foolish to stay. This place is cursed.
Quiet! Someone approaches. Is it Kandar? I can't
Disappearances are all the more reason for you to leave.
No, Panara. I'm sorry. Sorry, stranger. My friend can't see too well anymore. She mistook you for someone we've been looking for. Things have been rough lately. More than a few of us have disappeared recently. Kanhar's group are just the latest. They set out to search for the missing and vanished themselves. We're giving those buried ruins. They've stood quiet for decades, but now, new yawning sinkholes, eerie sounds at night. I don't jump at shadows, but missing people? That's... You're a kind soul. Be careful. We've lost a lot of kind souls of late. That pushy noble, Fidor, might know something about that. He arrived not long ago, claiming to own the place. Certainly acts the part. It's quiet, and usually free of nosy locals shooing us away. Too scared of the curse. The details vary, but they all revolve around the town being wiped out and swallowed by the sea. The sort of divine wrath. Nowhere else to go. The wastes, as they call them, have been a safe haven for the outcast and unwelcome for a long time. We kept...
For a place with such a terrible reputation, this estate certainly gets a lot of trespassers. I didn't expect to find anyone living out here. I thought they could help me shed some light on the mysteries of this place, but it turns out they're just idle squatters. I guess you could call that... This place barely exists outside of fables. My family kept no records of it, or our relatives here, other than our claim to the land. It took years of digging to locate these old ruins, so those vagrants say. For all I know, they're just trying to frighten me off. Their missing friends could be looting as we speak. I'm not leaving until I've searched the ruins myself. I don't mind having some company in this endeavor. Most people are barely willing to speak of this place above a whisper, let alone offer any help. Let's try to find a way inside the sunken ruins. My kin feel I'm wasting my life on a footnote. My parents even threatened to disown me if I continued my search, but that only spurred... Lineage is everything in Altmer society. The Queen alone could fill a library with her genealogy. We should have preserved everything we could about this place, but instead, nothing. I must know why this place was buried. Figure... This breach looks promising. Take a look. Not exactly cozy, but it's not completely demolished. Let's poke around. Can't say I care for the naturalized aesthetic. Keep your eyes out. Some answers. What happened to my family here? This place is fascinating. And... Something about that statue catch your interest? Even in such disrepair, I can imagine how opulent this manor must have been. My relatives must have been the whole town. That's incredible. My family has wealth and holdings, but not much in the way of time. That's a sound theory. Simple, but sound. There has to be something here that could reveal the truth. Damn. These papers are practically mulch. Maybe something survived. Help me look. I wonder whose chambers these were. What was their life? May I have a look? Merciful Sirabane! This sounds like the Thracian plague. A gruesome disease that decimated the population of Tamriel, Sammерсет included. It made the Nahatan flu seem like the sniffles. Everyone here could have been wiped out. No, it was a vile creation of the Slode, brewed in their kingdom of Thras. But it's possible it harbored the first outbreak on Sammерсет. I'm finding more questions than answers. There has to be more. There has to be. Try the room across the hall. For thousands of years? Doubtful. I can see how this place may have gotten its reputation with the local. Down here! I found something! I thought I heard something down here, but the sound must have carried up from this tunnel. It looks formed by erosion. Maybe related to the sinkholes? What about... Makes sense. The journal mentioned taking the afflicted to the family vaults. It would have been easy for the Korgrads to seal off their estate and leave the town to fend for itself. It's tragic that their compassion probably led to their murmurs and splashing. I thought maybe one of those missing squatters was down here, but I think... Is that a person? Hey, you there! Wait! This camp looks recent. I'll bet your missing persons just discovered that these ruins make decent shelter. I have a bad feeling about the fate of these people. Maybe they are further in the cavern. I don't think that was one of your vagrant friends. Somehow I doubt they received a warmer reception than we did. But at least we know the curse of Korgrad has been greatly exaggerated. Agreed. Much as I'd like to get to the bottom of all this. Voices!
They are Rillas, Abamel Shota.
I heard it again. Be careful. Gone. Look, people! Best approach with caution.
Please, approach. We know you are here.
There we are. Much better, yes. Manners are easily forgotten when you're so far removed from society. Forgive the others, they are frightened. Call me Arilas. I am caretaker of this place. We all are. We led our lives in quiet, contented seclusion until the crumblings. How long? How long indeed? I think there was a time when such things were measured. To the saviors. It is because of their sacrifice that Korgrad lives on. We repay the lives they gave us by caring for the town in their stead.
We're very... I see. Our humble town would be treacherous to those who have not grown accustomed to its many twists and turns. You possess the Savior's compassion and determination. The last people...
Go on without me. I'm going to speak with Arillis about my ancestors. I'd like to spend some time with Arillis. If these people really are descendants of Korgrad's populace, you heard, Arillis. It's dangerous deeper down. And let's be honest, I'm no warrior, but take a look at them. They're positively sickly. I doubt they want any trouble. More to the point, I think their saviors might have been my ancient ancestors.
This is the day we've waited for so long. The return of a living descendant. They took the sickness from us, from our ancestors, at great cost. They preserved us from the sickness of the sea. For that, we follow the Savior's guidance. It was their wisdom that brought us here and kept us safe for generations. Though buried, carved through a narrow passage to the north. Worry not for your...
These saviors you mentioned, did they happen to be members of the family?
Oh yes, the founders and protectors of this great realm. Does the surface still speak of their great sacrifice?
In a manner of speaking. I came here to learn more about this.
It must be fate. Korgrad opened its doors so that you could enter. Oh, I have so much to show you.
You don't have to do this! Please! Don't put me in there! Please! No! No! Save us from these monsters! Please! Get us out of here! They're killing us! Bloodletting, I think. These cave vermin poke and prod us whenever Arillis needs something to offer his saviors. To what end? I don't know. Poor bastard. Never seen these vermin in such a frenzy. They dragged him screaming through those doors there and sealed them shut right after. When Arillis isn't bleeding us and tending to his saviors beyond those doors, he spends most of his time with whatever unholiness goes on in the tombs below.
"10,000 venerations to you."
Bless you. I can walk, but you lead the way. We aren't free yet. We have to get out of here before those cave vermin come scurrying after. Your friend's dead. If these saviors really are vampires, what chance do we have against them? I suppose if there's any chance, we have to try. Nobody deserves a death like this.
Welcome to Korgrad, visitor. Such as it is. Forgive our lacking hospitality. Come, speak. I have not had civil company in some time. You arrive upon a momentous reunion of our filial blood, bestowing on him the Korgrad legacy. He is taking the first step upon the long road to restoring his vitality. It will take all he has to offer to restore each of us. But on the contrary, he will taste immortality as we have, but only for scant centuries, not millennia. The embalming process has already begun. When the stone is finished, we will be restored, and he will be a savior. I regret that we are Altmer, even in this desiccated state, cleansed of our poisoned humors to be free of the great sickness from the sea. Now, Thras, I had always suspected as much. The sickness bore an intent as if designed. It was ever present, ever penetrating. It seeped into every person, every creature, every drop of water, seeking to be quenched. The afflicted dragged themselves to corpulence with each passing day. We spare them the ravages of the terrible sickness that spread through Korgrad. In exchange, they care for us in this. To be free of the disease is to be free of all humors. They offer us their tainted blood to sustain our fragile grip on life, because he is kin. Most would not debase their bodies with the blood of men, but I am beyond such concerns. The blood Arilas offered us from the outsiders was free of disease. My vain attempt to stop the sickness from spreading beyond our borders. The people rebelled against their confinement and nearly broke the quota. To spare them and others from the gruesome death that was sure to come, or so I hoped.
For what reason do you barge into our home, as if you have the right to trespass our land? The other trespassers? They intrude as you do, without our sanction. Aurilas ends their vagrancy and sees that they are... It is not your right to question us. We are the law of this land. The return of our pure-blooded kin means our long dormancy is nearing an end. The sickness has robbed us of fruitful lands, so our servants...
Soon this misery will finally be too long. There is little to occupy the time. The monotony. I have spent, I don't know how long, in absolute stagnation.
How healthy you look. I barely remember the feeling of anything, really. It was the only way. The choice was this long internment or a brief, horrid end. Our hope, no. It was never meant to be this long. To see hope within our reach.
Gods, that was... I could feel my skin tightening as the stone drew the moisture out of me like a wineskin. I don't suppose you have... Right. I suppose I can keep up. I'll just lick the damp off the walls if I...
Saviors, I've failed you. They've stolen our future. But I swear I'll rob them of theirs in kind.
Don't let him kill us!
I can hardly believe it. You found Henrig and Mindaril, but no. You've done more than anyone ever has for us. If anyone's to blame, it's us. We survive out here by... I can see. Tortured. Why? Just for the fun of it? Gods, I'll heed curses more closely in the future. The locals were right to avoid this place.
If it weren't for you, I'd have wound up a husk like those monsters, withering in that pit for who knows how long. I owe you my life, even now. I still feel for them. What a miserable fate. I wish it could have been different. That Korgrad might have been redeemed. I used up most of my means traveling here, but take this with my gratitude. I'll stay with these people a while longer, if they'll have me. Best to stick together, and perhaps my standing will shield them from the intolerance my kind have for Nebarah. I don't know. Too often my kin seem content to forget ugliness exists in our society. If nothing else, someone will want to know about cave people harboring the Thrassian plague. My eyes still feel like they're covered in grit, but I think I'll be back to normal with a drink and a good night's sleep. The latter might be hard to come by until we are far from this place. My name may be all the means I can lend them. I doubt my parents will offer any support. Who knows if I'll even be welcome home when I return. I might be as much a vagabond as they when all is said and done. I'll